Welcome back to Space Haven. One of the things that I've noticed is that we need to be fairly careful around here because we're running low on energium, and these generators are eating that as crazy. But we got a fair amount of salvage here, and a vessel came in, so I bought one electronic chip and I built another of the shuttle hangars so that we have two of those. And I think that we need to just prepare another hyperjump ASAP because we need more energium until that research is done. We also need an energy refiner, which is another research we need. As soon as that research that we are currently doing, which should be the generator, is done. And there we go, now we can jump. Go here. Here. And then there. And drop out here because we need to mine that energium. Badly, I should say. Let's drop out there and immediately start mining all of these things that are here. Well, we can mine those two first. I also tore down one of the research benches. I want to put that back up, but we do not have the tech block necessary for that. But we should start recycling things. We have 15 energy scraps, so let's recycle 15 of that. It does produce a little bit of energium. Tech scrap will also provide us with some electronics components, so we can do 15 of that. The other scrap I'm not terribly concerned with currently. What is Ryder doing here? Okay, a new technology has been researched. The following rewards are now available. X1 power generator. Then we need an energy refinery. Can we build that? We need 3 tech blocks. Okay, I'm going to have a close look at items here. Operations, navigations. We don't need the operations console, and I presume that that requires tech blocks. Yes, it requires 2 of them. So dismantle that. That brings us up to 3 of them, so if we then build an... Oh, it still lacks 1 tech block. What can I dismantle that will give us a tech block? Do the scrubbers use tech blocks? Okay, well, you have to go. Bye. We can also mine these. Let's just build one of those generators. So the moment that that thing goes down, we'll get the generator. I don't know how much power this thing produces. Does it say? 200 capacity. As opposed to 200 capacity. Produces 10 versus 15. So that will be a massive... So, okay, we can tear down those 2 and we can get 2 of them. Great. And now we just need them to build it. Thank you. Now to link that up, we'll just do this. And then dismantle these two. And then build another one. Like so, and then we link that to there. And I think we should be pretty okay by then. Okay, if I link those two together, and instead of having that, we can have this. I'm going to have to look at these links later on because this is not optimal. Okay, now we're using the energy rods instead of the energium, so as soon as we complete the energy refinery research, we can actually make those energy rods, which will massively help our power production. So that is one thing that is definitely important. Go for these two ASAP, unless you want to hunt these energiums like crazy. We have received 2 data logs, and I did read these in my previous series, but for new viewers, I'm going to read them again. There might be some additional ones as well. The apocalypse. The end didn't happen with a bang, or a fanfare, or even a nuclear fireball. It just crept up on us. It began in the 21st century. Humanity made great strides in that century, but so much damage had already been done, and so much of it was invisible too. When the insect population collapsed, food crops and biodiversity both suffered. Without those, ecosystems all over the globe suffered, and by the time we curtailed our CO2 emissions, there were too few trees to sequester the excess. The result was hotter summers and deeper freezing winters. Species went extinct by the thousand every day, and as we squabbled over the cause and solutions, we pulled ourselves apart. Old allies became bitter rivals, nation came apart at the seams. The great edifices that supported the internet, global trade, just-in-time delivery, and all the other things that humanity depended upon to live, they all fell apart. Starvation, disease, and war made the 22nd century even bloodier than the 20th. Humanity was always good at adapting, though. When the sun baked the land, we invented the thermal regulator. When the crops failed, we invented grow pods. We got better at recycling, at finding new energy sources, but we were always a step behind where we needed to be. Folks used to joke about the big tech firms and their slogans, yesterday's solution, tomorrow. It's not that we destroyed the world, but we certainly made it impossible to sustain human civilization as it was. Too many places lapsed into feudal tyranny or mismanaged themselves into famine or just plain became unlivable as the climate shifted. Through it all, we never gave up on space exploration. There were complaints, of course, that it was a waste of increasingly valuable resources, that all the money and effort could go towards actually solving the problem. Now it seems maybe space was the only solid investment we ever made. So that's how this all began. Now we have 5 entries, we've only found one of them, in the IRS Mary Shelley. Log 1. A great and sudden change. Independent research ship Mary Shelley. First log entry, Captain Grant Park speaking. Or should I keep calling myself Professor? Perhaps not. This is a ship, not a university after all. Although there is no reason it can't be both, I suppose. I brought a couple of colleagues with me, Anderson and Fletcher, plus a pair of doctorate students, Chase and Ray. Good people, not just ivory tower academics, but genuine talent. And of course, Chase and Ray's sharing a cabin saves space for other things. The Mary Shelley is basic, to say the least, but she flies, she's well stocked, and she has everything she needs to sustain us. We can expand her on the fly to suit any mission profile. All we really need now is a direction. I've given that a lot of thought as we prepared for this. In all this excitement over what everyone's so grandiosely calling the apocalypse, they all got so hung up on finding a new home or a new planet that they've forgotten what space exploration is really about. To seek out new worlds and, well, you know the rest. To boldly split infinitives that no man has split before. Who knows? Maybe the answer to our problems is an older, wiser species who faced the same troubles we did and overcame them. Or perhaps they were smart enough to see them coming in the first place. We can't fail to learn more about the cosmos if we go looking, and who knows, perhaps we'll stumble across what all the other ships are looking for along the way. Or, just maybe, we'll actually make first contact. Either way, this should be interesting. End log entry. You know, if I were a research guy heading out into space, I don't think I would call my ship Mary Shelley. Maybe that's just me. Now, of course, we do need more tech blocks, but for the time being, I'm not sure where we could get more of them. We also need to finish this research for the energy refinery as quickly as possible, and that probably requires tech blocks, just to make our life even more amusing. But I might be able to tear down one of these. Or maybe one of these machines. I don't know how much these machines actually use. The recycler is 3 tech blocks, the assembler is 2. I'm currently not using the assembler, so I don't think it can make any useful blocks for us either, so let's just see what we need. I built another bed, by the way. Noticed that one of them was sleeping on the floor, which probably isn't all that pleasant. Should also give Ryder a name. Wow, that is an interesting outfit. This can be Bugbyte. And I think orange? No, probably red. For bridge personnel. There we go. I don't know if we can get rid of crew members. If we are not happy with them, I mean. Oh, another new feature is that you can... why are we hanging around here, by the way? You can go into the kitchen and the settings, and now you can modify how the composition of a meal works. So you get a food value, protein, fat, carbs, vitamins, and toxins, and you can put together how you want these to be represented in each of the meals. So if we, for instance, increase this, you can see it affects the numbers down there. I had to turn off the artificial meat because we ran out of that, which is how I found out. Okay, now there's a ship here. There is energium and carbon there. The energium is too valuable to pass, so we'll jump over there and mine that. Oh, and I would also be very grateful if those of you who follow the series give me your input on whether or not I should, for instance, pause the recording while I'm doing menial tasks like mining, or if you want me to just make this a long Let's Play series. My plans is to make it as enjoyable as possible, of course, but some things, when it's natural, my plan was to do that off camera, like what I did at the end of the last episode, where I just ended in a location where it felt natural for me to skip something. And that way I can avoid using the pause screens as much as possible, which would be to my preference. But if you guys would prefer it in a different manner, then please do let me know. I will be happy to try to accommodate whatever you feel is the most enjoyable. Okay, people are hanging around doing nothing, but we only have one recycler, so not really anything I want to refine from this, but we do need more water, so I guess it's time to refine. Wow, we have a lot of ice. I don't think we need any more ice anytime soon. Incoming ship. We'll wait for that because I'm hoping we can trade away some of these scrap parts because we have quite too many of them. I don't expect us to get much for it, but if we could free up 40 inventory slots, I would not object to that. Okay, here they are. Let's trade with them. Yeah, they will happily trade that. Do they have anything we want? Well, yes, they do, but... Oh, they have tech blocks. We're gonna grab those. And set up another trade. Plenty of biomatter as well. Too much, to be honest. Sing. We're going to keep that. Don't think we need this much noble metals either. Tech scrap I want to keep. We take 5 of that and 5 of that. At least we get some money. Now we only need to wait for the trade to complete. I think we want Miss to be drafted, and you can go there, Miss, because you are going to get a shotgun, and then undraft you. One trade left. An incoming ship. I think we have to wait for that. Insufficient resources. Yeah, now we're starting to lack fertilizer, so the next research definitely will be the composter, because that's not good. It's not that it's a major issue, because they can always eat algae, but sounds unpleasant. Hello. I wish I could trade away a crew member. Well, you don't have anything that I particularly fancy. Can give you that. And that. 3 of those and 7 of those. I think stocking up on money here is not at all a bad idea. Could sell them some hull blocks, because we can manufacture more of them. Ah, they're out of cash. Okay. Let's build another research lab. Yeah, we really need fertilizer. Let's prepare a hyperjump now. Wait, did that cancel our trade? Where's the shuttle? No, we didn't cancel the trade. Okay, let's prepare the hyperjump then. There we go. And geez, it's so sensitive. We'll go down there and then down here. Anything of interest there? No. But there is a... Is that a star lane? No. Let's drop out here. That's interesting. Is that a space station? Boy. It's an asteroid. Interesting. Ms. Peps and Quad. Someone should start mining these items. And not sure about this. Is there anything? No, the only safe place is the airlock. I'm very happy about docking in an airlock, but in lieu of anything better. This place seems to have suffered some kind of fatal accident, like really fatal. Ah, there's biters here as well. Well, they won't live for very long. That's the good thing with the biters. They can't really do anything when you are floating in the air or in space, I guess. Shotgun isn't really that accurate on shooting on a distance, but better that than the biters fighting. But this is obviously one of the new features of Alpha 10, where they mentioned the fight battles on asteroids in the patch notes. This seems to be it. Well, hello there. The data log over there. Let's go nab that. The PCB Delirium Tremens. That is a very interesting name. New data log, and all of you go dock. I think you should all be fine. Yep. Then this can dock back here. We'll undraft them. Is there anything of interest here? Oh yeah, there's a lot of things here. Is there anything worth salvaging? No, there's barely any salvage. I'm not going to bother with the soft and the infra scrap. The tech scrap and the energy scrap is worth it, but not when it's in that low of quantity. I hope you guys will finish that energy refining research soon. How much do we need? 32 basic. Because we need an energy refinery very, very quickly. Spent half of our energy rods now. Thankfully, when you have the energy refinery, that's a fairly efficient resource to make. The energy rods, I mean. Would seem that we get fertilizers from the toilets, because they seem to be happy with fertilizer again. Ah, we got tech blocks and energy blocks. Excellent. So much biomatter. New technology has been researched. We now have the energy refinery. So the next thing we're going to get then is the composter. Speed things down and see, where do I want? Resource energy. I think we'll have that there. This is 3. Change the size on it. It used to be 4 by 3, I think. But I don't mind. We want to place that there. Oh, wait. No. That's the thing. That's the reason it looks weird. It's supposed to go like that. There we go. Can we build the scrubber again? Yes, we can. think that energy refinery produces toxic gas, if I'm not completely wrong. Yeah. Hazardous gas output 2. It's pretty important to have... that also goes for the recycler. You want a scrubber, or even more than one, in rooms that you have these in, because it's kind of bad if you get too much toxic gas, even with the vents closed. The entire room will go green. All we're doing now is waiting for these to be completed in terms of mining. Oh, we got a data log. Entry 2 in the RS Mary Shelley. Log 2. Fearless and therefore powerful. Leaving Earth behind was not as easy as I thought it would be. That's home, after all. The cradle of humanity, blasted and ruined though it is. We threw a leaving party. Fletcher actually had a bottle of whiskey, which he was glad to share. Not good whiskey, but the first alcohol I've had in a long time. We stood there and said our goodbyes, or, well, tried to. I think we were still trying to decide on a toast when we clearly saw a flash somewhere along the west coast of North America. A nuke. Hard to imagine there's anything left in California that is worth nuking, but... Anderson's toast was to those poor bloody souls down there, and that was it. We spooled up the hyperdrive and left. We hopped a few systems over, stopping only to mine whatever we could find. Didn't bother the other ships. We've heard stories of some crews going rogue, turning to piracy or slavery. We are academics, not fighters. Best to keep a low profile. After a dozen jumps or so, we found a particularly promising system. Lots of resources, with not far to jump to get more. No other ships in sight. We took a vote and decided to build a small observatory station. Chase and Ray designed a telescope and then came up with a very appropriate name for it. The Big Exoplanet and Anomaly Survey Telescope, or BEAST. Very apt for a ship named after the author of Frankenstein. What none of us expected was how quickly it would find an anomaly. We barely had to turn it on before it told us where to find, well, something. Honestly, these readings do not make any sense at all. I certainly can't think of any natural phenomenon that would produce data like these. Which of course leads the mind to imagine an unnatural phenomenon. But no human ship would produce these kinds of readings either. Could it be? End log entry. Yeah. Here's a good Wally, servicing the machine. Unsuccessfully, apparently. There, Phasianetta came to your rescue and did your job for you, Wally. Can't imagine the people being too happy around here, seeming as there's very little light on board on this vessel. But light requires power. Well, power is not at a premium anymore. Ah, we're run out of nuts. Which is not good. I have to turn that. Food value is too low. Ah. Well, we have plenty of fruits. So I guess we will increase the amount of fruits that is present. Fruit vegetables, not so plenty of. So if we take this up to... I'm not going to be happy about this, but... Look at their conditions. Actually, they're feeling comfortable. Not too bad. Their food, I don't know if that's just that yeah, that's just that they're hungry. Frankly, they're uncomfortable at the research tables. Can't possibly imagine why. We are done mining. I should pay attention to that. Okay, now the next place to jump. There. Wonder what this is. Siren World. That doesn't sound too good. I don't even know what that is. It's a new thing. Anyways, we're going to drop off here. We might check out what that Siren World is, but I think I'll save the game before we go there. Let's deploy here. This is the torpedo bait. Do you have anything of interest? Nuts, but it's too expensive. Can sell you these. Other than that, energy box. I think we want a couple of energy boxes, to be honest. Anything else we have a lot of? We're keeping the human meat because of posting. Let's sell that. If they want it, they can have it. There we go. Oh, Ms. Craft. Enter. Peps. Craft. Enter. Quad. Craft. And enter. There we go. Now let's dock here. Okay, so there's biters here, and another crew member. It's actually getting a little bit ridiculous in terms of the crew members. I've researched the composter. Let's have a look at the other things. Let's get an autopsy table. We can get a medical bed. Let's shoot down the walls here. They would only give us infra scrap anyways, and that's not something we really need. And the less I have to interact with these fighters, the happier everyone is going to be. Now the question is there an alien infestation here? Probably, since they keep coming from down there. You guys should be a bit more steady on your aiming. Let's get some O2. There should be for you, all of you here. Good. That looks like food. Good, good. I don't want to open that caption line. There are more biters around. There most definitely is. I don't think Ms. wants to be taking lead here anymore. Come on. And there we go. The SGS Tetanus. So this is a Slaver's Guild ship. Shame it's a derelict and not a ship that we could can't claim. Okay, so we found Dolores here. Have a look at Dolores' stats. Medical 3, that's another doctor. Shielding and research. It's also an alien lover. Other skills, fairly useless. But not a total waste. Okay, now we can dock back at our ship. And then we take a look at the transfer, select all and transfer that. Anything worth, yes, tech and energy scrap. And of course we want to mine these things. And we have a couple of trades left too. But I think that I will do all of these things in between the episodes. And in the next episode, I think we should have a look at what this Siren world involves. And then probably jump off to this uncontrolled system down here. So, yeah, that's the plan. Now, if you have any questions or comments, please do feel free to leave them in the comment section of the video as per usual. Or you can also come join us in our Discord server. Find the link to that in the description. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will be seeing you all in the next episode.